Hey everybody! Hi from sunny Arizona. Although it's not so sunny today, it's a little bit overcast, but it feels like fall outside and I am loving it. This is my kind of weather right now. So I haven't been on lately to cook for you guys because I didn't have pots and pans, and I literally just had my moving truck show up last week. I'm just now kind of settling in here, getting things where they go in my kitchen, and I'm starting to get back on my cycle of cooking. So today I'm gonna make some chopped sirloin, but I'm gonna make it with a Swedish style gravy, and it's gonna knock your socks off. It's so good, you guys. But I'm gonna make them in the air fryer. If you don't have an air fryer, that's okay. You can do them on the stove. You can fry them up on the stove, or you can bake them off in the oven. For me, the air fryer is a lifesaver because it doesn't get grease everywhere and it cooks everything to perfection, okay? So I'm gonna use my air fryer, but let's jump in and let me show you how we're gonna do this. I'm gonna serve mine with baked potatoes today. Normally, I make mashed potatoes, but for whatever reason, I'm feeling a baked potato today with some asparagus. So I'm gonna use 3 pounds of ground chuck. I hope the lighting is okay. It's a little different than my old kitchen, but it's kind of weird when you look at it. It looks like I'm standing in my old kitchen just with different cabinets and different backsplash and stuff. Very bizarre, but we love it here. It's a great place. I'm really happy here, except for the one little scorpion I saw the other day. I'm not gonna lie, I freaked out just a tiny bit. Okay, so here's 3 pounds of ground chuck, all right? And I'm gonna go ahead, I'm trying to see in the video if you can see what I'm doing. This is a lot. It's gonna make quite a bit. You could use like 2 pounds and, use the same ingredients and it'd probably be fine. This is just gonna make a lot of ground chopped sirloin. All right, so I'm gonna put that in a large bowl, and the way I like to do my chopped sirloin, Lipton onion soup mix. This is the Kroger brand, but onion soup mix. I really think it adds so much flavor to the meat itself, because really chopped sirloin is super simple. It's just like a hamburger patty. That's what you're thinking. It's like an elevated hamburger patty with gravy on it, right? So we're gonna add 1 package of the Lipton onion soup mix, and that is going to give it so much flavor, you guys, so much flavor. 1 egg, because egg is your binder. Partially, we're gonna use some breadcrumbs too. This is a lot of meat. I probably could use 2 eggs, but let's just wing it and see what happens. Now, I really don't measure. I'll be able to tell by the consistency of the meat if I want to add more or less, of something. So I'm gonna guesstimate that I'm gonna use about 1/2 cup of plain breadcrumbs. Again, well, they call it fries out here, but it's Kroger, same thing. I'm gonna use 1/2 cup of the plain breadcrumbs, and I can kind of estimate just by looking at it. Okay, about 1/2 cup of that. And I'm gonna do about a teaspoon of salt. And I really like pepper, as you guys probably all know by now, but I'm gonna do about 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper because it gives it flavor. And of course, you know me, I love me some garlic. So I minced up 3 cloves of garlic. Now that's it. I'm just gonna mix it all together and form patties. Now I'm gonna be able to tell if I wanna add another egg to this to see. You could add some chopped parsley up in here, but I'm gonna do that at the end with my gravy. And it already smells good because of that onion soup mix. So you're just gonna, you don't wanna over mix it. You just wanna make sure that you do it enough. I always wear gloves because I'm really just grossed out by touching the meat without them, because I have nails and I just don't think that that's very sanitary. But anyhow, okay, I like how it's forming. It doesn't feel too mushy. The egg's gonna help combine it. The breadcrumbs are gonna help hold it together when it's fried or put in the air fryer. The air fryer, guys, if you don't have one, it's a great investment. Like, you can do things super quick in there. Like, you could throw for your kids for lunch, you can make homemade chicken fingers and throw them in there. Or you can, make French fries for them, or tater tots. You can make all kinds of stuff, wings, hot dogs, chicken breast. It is amazing. And when you go to make meatballs or something like this, I absolutely love it, because normally I would brown it off on the stove, and I mean, it's just grease everywhere, grease flying, and it's just horrible. All right, so that looks good. It's combined nicely. See how easy? What was that, like 4 ingredients maybe? Because where we're gonna get the flavor is in the gravy. So for the chopped sirloin, you're gonna take, you know, a big ball like that, all right? I don't know how to tell you what that is. I mean, I don't know, just make it a large size ball. And I just actually, I hope you guys can see, let me try to move this over so you can see. I'm gonna take it, I'm gonna put it on my cutting board, and I'm gonna flatten it into like a little oval shape. And I'm gonna end up probably having to do 4 at a time in the air fryer, which is fine. Okay, so just like this, you guys. Okay, that's how I flattened it. You can see the thickness of it. It looks like a little oval shape there. Just like that, and about that thick, okay? Maybe like 1/2 inch thick or something. And I'm gonna go do all of them, and then I'm gonna put them in the air fryer, and I'll show you what it looks like, and then we'll make our delicious gravy to go over the top. And I'm gonna show you this really cool rag I have here to help me with these baked potatoes later. So I'm gonna pause until I get them all formed, put them in the air fryer, and then I'll come back and I'm gonna show you exactly what they look like. So I'll be back in just 1 minute. Okay, so just to show you what they look like, all right? Got them all here, okay, on this cutting board. And now I've sprayed the inside of my air fryer with non-stick cooking spray. And I always spray it because sometimes if you're not careful, something you're cooking in there is gonna stick to it. So now I'm just gonna place them in the air fryer. I'm gonna turn it on to like 395. And it literally takes about 12 minutes for them to cook all the way through. Like literally the shortest amount of time and the least amount of mess. And the greatest thing is, the oil is gonna go to the bottom of the air fryer away from the chopped sirloin. So it's less fatty. It's really nice, you guys. If you don't have one, highly, highly recommend it. I know a lot of you are crazy about the Instapot. That's just not my thing. I really like the air fryer though. So now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna place them in there. I might have to cook them 4 at a time. And I got 8 patties out of that. So I'm gonna cook them 4 at a time, and then I'll show you when they're all done cooking in the air fryer, and then we'll make our sauce. Okay, so while those are cooking off in the air fryer, let me show you this cool thing. All right, I know a lot of you know I started doing that Norwex thing, and the only reason is because I love it so much. I love their stuff so much that I figured, what the heck, I always like to share things that I love. Why not continue to share it and try to make a little tiny business out of it on the side? Just something extra, you know? But I wouldn't do it if I didn't really like them. So this towel right here, this is the veggie cloth, okay? And it has like a rough side to it and a really smooth side to it. And instead of, you know, scrubbing with a scrub brush or something like that, I'm gonna make baked potatoes today, okay? Just regular Idaho potato. And you can clean your potatoes, your carrots, you know, your apples. You can use the soft side for like tomatoes to kind of get all the grit off of them, to get all the, you know, stuff they spray on all our vegetables, right? And you just kind of give it a good scrub. I like to leave the skin on my potatoes. That's where all your vitamins are. I just like the skin of the potato. And when I clean it like this, I know it's clean and I can eat it and not worry about it. My kids can eat it and not worry about it. And it gets all of that off. It's just a little wet. I got the cloth a little wet, nice and clean. And I'm gonna I'm making 4 baked potatoes because there's just the 4 of us tonight. And I'm making myself a small one. And just gonna continue to clean these. And then, you know what can happen? I can do these in the air fryer too, right after the meat. And it's gonna make cooking dinner super quick and super easy. You probably aren't gonna be able to see on the camera, but it does actually remove the peel if you want it to do that. So it's really cool. Sophie, I can see your reflection in the thing. Come say hi. Okay. And that's it, guys. You can see the difference between the two just from that little simple cleaning with the cloth. Look at that. Okay, so I'm gonna finish those. Those are finishing up in the air fryer. I'm gonna come back, we'll show you the meat, and we're gonna start our gravy, I promise. Okay, ladies, I just took the first batch out of the air fryer, you guys. Check it out. They're cooked all the way through. It took about 12 minutes. No grease on my platter. You know why? Because all the grease goes to the bottom of the air fryer. Make sure between batches you get rid of that grease. You dump it out because it'll cause it to smoke if you don't. So empty the grease out of the air fryer and then put your second batch in. Mine's going. Now we're going to make our gravy. I have a good sized pan here, a large skillet here. We're going to add 5 tablespoons of butter. Yes, I know, but I never said this was low fat. This is definitely comfort food. This is definitely, you know, curl up on the couch, watch a good movie, and stuff your face with chopped sirloin. This Swedish gravy is so rich and so delicious. You guys are going to love it. So I'm doing a little something different with this gravy, and I'm going to add in some baby Bella mushrooms. These are the pre-sliced ones. You can buy the whole ones and slice them yourself. Whatever floats your boat. I'm saving myself time. These are already done. I'm going to go ahead and throw these in the skillet with my butter. Okay, and we're going to start to let those caramelize and get nice and like brown before we add anything. Let me grab a spoon. This is for my friend Kim, because normally I grab a metal spoon and it drives her insane when I stir the pot on the video. Sorry, Kimmy, here's your plastic, or you know, use a wooden or plastic spoon, she tells me. Okay, here we go. So now I'm going to add in the mushrooms and just allow them to saute in all the butter. For the rest of the recipe, you're going to need salt and pepper. And inside here, I wrote it down so that I don't forget what I put in here. I used a half teaspoon of salt. I used a half a teaspoon of black pepper, a quarter teaspoon of allspice, a quarter teaspoon of nutmeg. I know it sounds crazy, but I promise you the flavors work. We're going to use some Worcestershire sauce, some Dijon mustard, and heavy cream. And it's going to make a really nice thick gravy that we're going to pour over the top of our beautiful chopped sirloin. So I have all my spices pre-mixed in here just to save time on the video. And I'm going to make some asparagus with mine. Oh, and you also need some beef broth. Okay, so beef broth, heavy cream. You're going to need Worcestershire, Dijon, salt, pepper, nutmeg, allspice, and I think that's it. Yeah, and 3 tablespoons of flour, okay? Because that's what's going to thicken up our sauce. So as soon as these start to kind of brown a little bit, I'm going to add in the flour, because once I add in the flour, I need to brown it in with the mushrooms and get that flour toasted off, all right? And then we'll add our liquids to the sauce. So right now, all I'm doing is just stirring them up. So I'm going to give those, it's going to take you about a good 5 minutes to start to get those done. So I'm going to pause until I'm ready to add the next step. Okay, so the mushrooms have been cooking about 5 to 6 minutes. They're starting to get really nice and golden and fragrant. My new BFF out here, Dunkin' Donuts. I have to say the Dunkin' Donuts out here is way better than back home. And since I don't have my other friend Tim Hortons, I had to turn to someone else. Dunkin's pretty good out here. That's iced coffee, believe it or not. Okay, so anyways, the mushrooms are starting to brown really good. Now I have my 3 tablespoons of all-purpose white flour. You're going to go ahead and dump it in over your mushroom. Just sprinkle it in over that. This is what's going to make your gravy like thick. Okay? And now you just want to make sure that you toast off the flour. Don't add any liquid to that until you've stirred the flour all in there, coated those mushrooms beautifully, toasted off the flour, just like that. I can hear Robbie coming in the garage. He's starving. I know he is. Okay. It's getting all nice and mixed in there. And you're going to see it's kind of like, it looks really goopy and really thick. Don't worry. It's supposed to look like that. Okay. Now we can add in our liquid. We're going to add in our beef broth. Okay, just regular beef broth. I'm going to add in 3 cups. There's about 4 cups in here. So I'm going to go ahead, and I can just tell from, because I do this all the time, I can tell when it gets to about 3 cups. What are you doing?
I'm checking on you.
You checking on me? Huh? He was
Everything
just outside.
Smells amazing.
Yeah. This is going to be Swedish gravy for chopped sirloin. So the chopped
You want
sirloin.
me to try the meat?
No, not yet. I don't.
What about the
No.
mushrooms?
No. You have to wait. Okay.
I'm just gonna sit by the pool and have a beer.
Okay, you go enjoy yourself, and I'll. It's not very sunny out there right now. Where'd the sun go? Did you order? He ordered
Behind
a
the
fall
clouds.
day for me. This is like the first like really cloudy day all week, and it's yeah. You have to bend down. The movers broke my ring light. My expensive ring light.
It's not broken.
What's going
It's
on?
not
There's no
broken.
cord. There's no cord, and the orange thing's gone.
The cord is with the wires.
Okay. Anyhow,
Ay, ay,
okay.
ay.
Love you. Okay, so I added my 3 cups of my beef broth in there. Now I'm going to go ahead and see all my delicious spices. Remember, 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, 1/4 teaspoon of allspice, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper. All in there. Mix it up really good. Did I forget anything? No. Okay, we're going to dump it in there. And now I'm going to add in some Dijon mustard. Oh, this is brand new. It's not even open yet. Hold on. We got to open this up. 1 teaspoon of Dijon. I love the Dijon because it's super duper tangy. I don't have to measure. I can kind of tell when I have a teaspoon in there. Teaspoon. I like a little tiny bit extra because I like that zing. The Dijon's going to make the sauce taste amazing. Sorry, they're being loud back there. Okay, and now I'm going to add 1.5 tablespoons of Worcestershire. Worcestershire is super important for this gravy. If you don't have it, don't make it. But you definitely need Worcestershire sauce. Okay, and we're going to do like 1.5 tablespoons of that. Why do they make these things so damn hard to get into? I shouldn't swear. Father Royal, if you're watching, please forgive me. And please forgive me for using my teeth, because you know you all do it, and it's the only way. Okay. So I'm going to add 1 tablespoon and 1/2 to that gravy. I love Worcestershire. I love the taste of it. I'm pretty passionate about food, in case you guys haven't figured that out yet. All right, and I'm trying to make sure. Now the only thing left, oh my gosh, you guys, is our heavy cream. We're going to add 1.5 cups of heavy cream. And then once you do that, okay, you're going to want to keep stirring it and put it on like a medium-low because you do not want to scorch the cream. You don't want to scorch the gravy, okay? So you're going to want to make sure that you're stirring it pretty consistently, and it's going to thicken up and it's going to start to bubble, and it's fantastic. Then once you give it a taste, if you feel like you want to adjust the amount of mustard, you want to add a little more Worcestershire, you can do it by your own taste. But this recipe is pretty on, okay? I have played with this for a while now, and it's amazing. I'm going to dump in that heavy cream. There is never any gravy left when I make this. Never. All right. Now, I'm loving the smell. Now you just keep stirring it until it thickens up. My chopped sirloin is cooked all the way through. So what I'm going to do is once the sauce starts to thicken and bubble and I know the gravy is done, I'm going to pick up those patties and I'm going to put them right in the pan with all this delicious sauce. I'm going to let them cook through that way. You don't have to do that. You can actually leave the chopped sirloin out if you want, and then just spoon the gravy if you want to kind of control the amount of gravy you're getting. You can do it like that. If you don't have the air fryer and you're doing your sirloin, you can brown it off, like I said, on the stove. You are going to have grease everywhere. Or you can bake them in a 375-degree oven until they're cooked through. Either way. If I had to choose, I would do it in the oven over frying them any day. Okay, it's starting to smell amazing. I'm going to take just a little taste to see if I want to adjust any of the flavors in this. Just want to take a little taste. It's delicious. Really, really good. For me, I'm going to add in just a skinch more of the Dijon because I like it tangy. Okay? I'm just going to add in just a little bit more for my taste buds today. The mushrooms, sometimes when you cook with the mushroom, it can change. the taste of the sauce just a little bit, and might need just a hint more of the mustard if you want, but it's pretty on, you guys. I really have to say I love this recipe. It's starting to thicken, so I'm going to take a little break. I'm going to pause. I'm going to go get my other chopped sirloin patties, and then we'll finish it off, and I'll come back and show you what it looks like all done. My baked potatoes, they're just about done. I just have to cook them off with a little bit of olive oil, sea salt, and we will be all set. I will see you guys in just a minute to show you the end result. You guys are gonna love this. I will see you in a minute. Okay, everything's finally done. It didn't take that long. It really won't take you that long. It's longer for me to do the video than it will take you to throw this together, honestly. So my baked potatoes are done. I love me a good baked potato. All right, now I'm just gonna spoon out my chopped sirloin with that delicious Swedish gravy. Robbie loves this. Even when he's trying to watch what he eats, he'll scoop up this gravy. So I put a little extra gravy for him because he likes it. And then I made my beautiful asparagus. I love asparagus too. It's so good for you, right? Not drowned in gravy, but still. And I'm gonna put just a little bit of chopped parsley to make it kind of look prettier. And voila, there it is. I don't know if the camera's going blurry or what, but I'm trying to get you a good picture of it. It is delicious, you guys. Put a little salt and pepper on my potato, and I am ready to go. So that's it, chopped sirloin with Swedish gravy. I'll post the recipe below. I love you guys. I miss you guys. Thanks for watching as always. Please share my YouTube channel with your friends, and I will see you all later. Love you. Alafi.